I guess since it's ceremonial night, I gotta do it. I gotta do it, man. Just what a night. For us, this was a huge game. We had gone on the road and gotten a big one against Indiana over the weekend, and we told the guys coming in, even though Michigan was down some guys, that a lot of times that can rally a team, and we've seen it with us with Ty, right? I've seen how our guys have rallied, and you've seen other guys step up and give Michigan a lot of credit. I knew they were going to be ready to play, and they came out and punched us in the mouth early. We really struggled defensively in the first half. They were kind of getting whatever they wanted. A number of threes. I think they were 6 from 8 from the 3-point line. But I thought the end of the half was huge, us getting the lead. We kind of fought our way back, and then Ryan hit a big three there the last sec. We drew up. Coach James is a side out of bounds guru. He drew up a nice play there, for us to get a three. And then I thought in the second half we played much better. Obviously, Boo was really good, but I thought Ryan and Brooks, their ability to get 39 points and, Brooks 12 rebounds. And, I thought Michigan was kind of mixing and matching their defenses, and we knew that. They do that, and I knew they were going to do it even more because they had less bodies. And I thought it took our guys a little bit of time to kind of get comfortable with what they were doing defensively. I thought once we got to the second half, we were able to find some gaps and some openings and knock down some shots, which was huge. And just special for Boo, man. I mean, obviously as a coach, you're so locked in to trying to win the game. For us, getting our 10th win tonight, I mean, that's huge. I mean, I think it's only the third time ever, that a Northwestern team has gotten 10 wins in the league, in back-to-back years, to now have, 22 wins in the league. I'm not sure how many teams in the last 2 years have 22 wins at this point. I know Purdue does. But I think we're right up there, in terms of a 2-year span, which is a great testament to where our guys at. And, for Boo to break the record here tonight, his family was here. I was glad he was able to kind of get it done in the first 8 minutes so then he could settle into the game. I mean, you guys can only imagine, as much as you want to try to not be distracted by it, put yourself in his shoes. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's here to see the record go, and he hit that three to get it. And I thought once he did that, he really played, great the rest of the way. So special night. Feel really lucky to be a small part of his journey. That's why I'm wearing this headband. His impact on this program. We've talked about it a lot over the last couple days. Forget about the records, and he's made this place he's given us a cool factor. In basketball, which is a big thing, when you try to change the perception of what you're programmed to be. Now young players are watching us play. When you talk to prospects and you talk to, Boo Buie, and his impact is going to be long-standing, because of not only what he's done and how he's impacted our winning, but what his presence has meant here these last couple years.
Zach Edey and Boo Buie. They're throwbacks in the fact that they stayed in one place in this era.
Right.
And they're two best players in this league. All the other first team, all Big Ten guys or second Big Ten transfers.
Right.
What does that tell you about the character of Boo to stick it out, highs and lows, to be here the whole time? And Edey obviously the same thing.
Right.
Same thing.
I mean, you talk about two guys that are, at the top of the game in the college level, but in Boo's case, to fight through some tough times. His freshman year, I think we won 3 games. I think we were 3-17 in the league, last place. Little by little, we came back the next year. We won a couple more, and then I think we won 8. His junior year, and then we had some guys choose to not stay. And there's no knock. I mean, I'm not mad at those guys, but it's a great testament to Boo to kind of be the leader, to say, you know what, I believe in this place. This is where I'm supposed to be. I'm going to stay the course, and we're going to win. And, forget about what it's meant, but just what that did to me too, when you have players that have the faith in you, your best player, to say, no, I'm sticking with you, and we're going to find a way to win. And to me, in all what's going on in college basketball, that's a great story, and that's no knock on Purdue, but Purdue has history, right? I mean, and that's no knock on Edie because they've had tough times and lost, but Purdue is a great program. Northwestern has not been, and for Boo to say, you know what, this is my place, this is my coach, these are my coaches, these are my teammates, and we're going to win, and I'm going to stay the course, and that's what's happened, and to see him be rewarded for that with team success, and now to go down. I mean, I said it. I mean, I'd be hard pressed, and there's no knock on Billy McKinney and Evan Eschmeyer, and even way back when we've had some great players in the history of the program, and Johnny Sherna, whose record he broke tonight. Boo stands alone because of what he's done with winning as well. And that's what's really awesome about being a part of this journey with him the last 5 years.
Coach, you talked about kind of during the game, you're caught up, you're focused on winning. When you subbed Boo out for the final time, you guys shared a hug. What was that moment like, and what were the words exchanged?
Well, it was just pride. I mean, at that point, I knew we were going to win. So, I've tried so hard as a coach. I mean, Boo is like family to me, So, I mean, obviously, you're incredibly proud to see someone whose family do something so special. But you're also in a fight, you're in a competitive battle and you're trying to win, and it wasn't going early, and we really had to grind this one out. And once we kind of knew we were going to win, and I knew I could get him out and get the ovation from the fans, that's when, I was able to let myself emotionally, go to that fatherly figure and have that pride and be so proud of what he's done and also how he carries himself. I mean, his growth as a young man, as a leader, as a teammate, as a friend. I mean, guys, it's been an unbelievable development. And that's stories like this is why a lot of us like to coach in college. Andy's back there. He knows, like, when you talk to the coach, like I was able to do that with my college coach, and to be able to stick through ups and downs and go through hard times, but then also go through amazingly great times and to have that bond. And it's just sad for me because I know I'm only going to coach him, for another month. And, that's going to be sad for me because it's been such a thrill. But I know that it's going to be also awesome to see kind of where his next journey goes.
Coach, obviously you started the game with a double-digit deficit, but Boo's shots seemed to kind of spark the offense.
Yeah.
How is the team able to kind of get through the anticipation of Boo's milestone and then get going offensively?
Yeah, I just think for as a general, I mean, it's hard. I mean, everyone knew what was at stake, right? I mean, all these kids are on social media. They follow things. They know what's going on. So you have that element to the game that's there. Plus, you're playing a team whose leading scorers are not playing, right? So, inherently, even though you're like, man, I wonder how they're going to play and this and that. And even though us as coaches are saying, guys, Namari Burnett is really good. And Terrace Reed is one of the best young bigs, and Terrence Williams is a good player. They punched us in the mouth early. They did. They were ready to go. They had energy. They made shots. We were disjointed. And so then we really had to kind of gather ourselves and fight back. And I thought the three that Boo hit to kind of break the record, first of all, the crowd got into it. So it gave us some energy there. And then it enabled us to go on a little bit of a run there to get the lead at half.
Coach, over the past few games, Brooks has struggled from the field. Tonight, he was able to go 50%, 19 points, another double-double.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him over these past few days that's kept him locked in and able to get ready to shoot the ball even when it's not falling, specifically these past few games on the road?
Yeah, well, I mean, Brooks is a warrior. I mean, he's a competitor. I think he leads the conference in minutes, or he's right up there. He's just a guy we can't take off the floor. We need him on both ends. We rely on him to rebound, to get steals, to be our double team guy in the post. He's so, and we need him to score, especially with Ty being gone, right? I mean, and I think the thing our guys are, and we're getting better. We were humming so much offensively when we had, before Ty's injury. I mean, I thought we were one of the best offensive teams in the country. Really, our efficiency, the way we spaced the floor, the way we were shooting it, we were taking care of the ball. And then all of a sudden you take that element out, and now Nick comes in, who's a really good player, but it's different, right? And so it's kind of a different kind of team, and we're continuing to figure out. And the good thing is we're winning. while that's happening. I mean, so, I think what are we 4-1 or whatever now without Ty, and so I think we're still evolving with this new group, and I think Brooks kind of is figuring out without those. I mean, Brooks had a little bit of more space to work with when you had Ty, Boo, and Langborg out there. Now with Nick kind of being more of a cutter and a slasher and a guy, Brooks is figuring out where his spots are, and I'm figuring out that too. And I thought tonight he made those 3 big threes early, and then I thought in the second half he really got to his spots well. He was able to get to his back down game, hit his little patented fadeaway jumper, and had a couple cuts for layups. I thought he was, especially in the second half, I thought Brooks was big time.
When the opponent only has 8 healthy scholarship guys and 3 of them, haven't really played much at all this year, does that change your strategy at all as far as trying to wear them down?
A little bit. I mean, obviously when McDaniel is out there, I mean, he's got the ball a ton. And then with Namqua, he had the ball a lot. They ran a lot of stuff for him to post, and he was a scorer for them. So, I had great respect for the rest of their guys, but, you were kind of, okay, how are they going to play now with this group? And obviously Burnett was very aggressive, and I thought he played really well. I knew he would. He grew up here. He's coming home, and I knew he'd be really ready to play. And I think Reed is one of the best young bigs in the league. And, I think what happened early, too, is they shot it great. They were 6 of 8 from 3 early, which gave them confidence. Then now all of a sudden you're facing a team that's really confident. I did think as the game wore on, we tried to extend our pressure a little bit. I thought Blake Smith coming in and just coming up the floor, picking up full court, kind of getting them into their legs a little bit. I thought, as the game wore on, that we were able to wear them down a little bit, but give them credit. Juwan had them ready to play. It was a really good game plan. Our guys had to really fight to get this one done.
Coach, you talked about, Nick entering the starting lineup and the offense is kind of still evolving, but defense has still relatively been the same despite Ty's absence. Can you talk about how even though inserting Nick into the starting lineup, the defense and effort on that side of the ball has remained the same?
Yeah, I think one of the things it's done is, we've gotten a little bigger and longer on the front line. And I think the area that you see it more than ever is the glass. I think now this might be the 4th game in a row. I mean, you guys will check, but that we out-rebounded our opponent, and we get 14 offensive rebounds. Nick gets 5. When you get Nick and Matt and Brooks in there on the glass, we've become a better rebounding team, a little bit more length. So some of the second chance stuff we've been able to take away. And, I thought our first half defense wasn't very good, but I thought the will of our guys and kind of the resolve, I thought in the second half we really buckled down and played much better D.
This is my checklist, but double-digit wins in the league. Got that. Undefeated in the conference at home, not there yet, but so far. Potential double bye, potential tournament. Where do you look at as you check off these things, like how important they are to this team, to this program, to you? Because one, you've already checked off, double-digit wins.
Right. I mean, I think they're all important, and you can't get ahead of yourself with it, but they're all important. I mean, you come into the year, saying, man, we want to be a tournament team. Now, you have to go through all the steps along the way, but you want to be in a position, can you go to an NCAA tournament? Can you be competitive in your league? For us, I think we're now in 3rd place with 4 games to go, with a lot of work to do. I mean, we have 4 tough games, but to have 10 wins, to your point, back-to-back years. I mean, in the history of this program, I don't think people realize, to have 22 wins now, and hopefully we get some more. It's going to be hard, but to have 22 league wins in the last 2 years is an unbelievable testament to these guys and to this team. And we still know we have a lot more to play for, but they're all, I mean, that's a big reason why I wanted to come here, was to create history. I mean, that was a huge, and I knew it was going to be really hard, and it's been even harder than I thought in a lot of instances. But when you have an opportunity to be somewhere where they haven't had that level of winning and you can do things that have never been done, it's really cool. And it's awesome to see these guys take pride in it and just to see their confidence grow. I mean, I'm not sure, a couple years ago when teams kind of hit us with those threes early in the game, would we have had the competitive resolve to say, we're still going to win. And that's what I've seen over these past 2 years. There's an air of confidence towards winning. That's been great. And obviously it's Boo's leadership has led the way with that.
Coach, I thought I'd join you with the head.
Thank you. Appreciate
But
that.
Blake Smith played 14 minutes, which is a career high for him.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier he was showing a lot of pressure. You were using him. I mean, I saw one possession where he switched on to 4 guys. What does he bring defensively that is so crucial for this
Yeah,
team?
it just brings great quickness, great length. You know, one of the things with our defense, because a lot of times, you know, Ty was really good at kind of extending the floor. You know, and Ty was kind of the one who would pick up a little bit because there's so much on Boo. To ask Boo to have to pick up and guard the other team's point guard and zigzag them and things like that. So, you know, I think what Blake brings, he brings a quickness and athleticism on the perimeter. You know, defensively, he gets deflections, he can guard the ball, he can switch, you know, on the bigger wings. And it's just cool to see his confidence grow. I mean, here's a guy, you know, honestly, I mean, he was going to redshirt. You know, I mean, he's been a walk-on for us. You know, and the reason he was going to redshirt, though, is because we felt like he was going to be good. And we've seen him in practice this whole year on our scout team kind of get better and get more confident and get stronger. And then when Ty went down, I just met with him and I said, listen, man, like it's on you. It's your call. Like I know you've sat the first 20 games. I would never do that to someone, but like we need you, you know, and you can really help us here down the stretch. And we're playing. And he said, Coach, I want to play. And, you know, I think to be able to bring him in and Justin to bring a couple athletic wings in to kind of give us some defense and rebounding and athleticism has been huge. I thought Blake's minutes were really positive tonight.
Last question, Matt. Coach, you know, a lot of times on the bench, see you standing there, then further down the line, also see Ty standing up. How has he still impacted this team on the bench, contributing to those conversations?
Well, Ty is our most energetic guy. You guys know that. I mean, Ty's enthusiasm, his positivity, his energy. He's, you know, and I'm that way. You know, I'm super enthusiastic. I've always been that way when I played. I'm like that as a coach. But sometimes even people who are enthusiastic need to get energy from others. And Ty was a person who did that for me as well as his teammates. And he and I have really talked as disappointed as he is to not be out there with his team. We need his voice. You know, we need his energy. We need him talking in huddles, you know, all those things. And I thought he did a great job. We missed not having him at Rutgers and in Indiana. Hopefully he'll be able to travel with us on Wednesday to Maryland, but his presence is huge. His voice is huge. The guys look up to him, and he's going to be a big part of it, you know, even though it's kind of as an assistant coach the rest of the way. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys.
Question. Matt?
Shout
Brooks,
out my guy in the back.
I got you.
Brooks, in the first half, you kind of came across the paint, had a big block, and you guys kind of celebrated together. You know, what were the emotions like? What were the words exchanged in that moment?
Yeah, I think the main thing was that we played horrible defense in the first half. Especially me, it's probably the worst defensive half I've had this season. But it was just something to like kind of get me out of like that funk defensively I was playing. And I came over, I made a play on the ball, I got a block, and it was really just Boo giving me energy, like coming over, being like good stuff, like now let's go, because I think we were down at that time. So it was really just a play to try to get us some energy, and I was able to go over there and block it.
Boo, how did you weigh the preparation for this game with the obvious anticipation of the record that obviously fell tonight?
Yeah, to be honest, I just did it the same way that I do every other game. You know, every time, you know, like I'm getting going or something, you know, the team's game plan is kind of to, you know, force the ball out of my hands and stuff like that. So, you know, it's kind of a similar thought process in terms of, you know, a pressure sense. But, you know, I just had a lot of confidence coming into the game. You know, that's our 15th game or 16th game, and you know, I've just played a lot of games, and my teammates and coaches have a lot of faith in me. And I know coming into the game, it's not all on me. It doesn't have to be all about me. So that just helps it, you know, be even easier to just go out there and just play free and not worry about stuff like that. Like, because to be honest, I wouldn't have cared if we won and I didn't break the record for 2 more games if that means I'm scoring 1 point a game and we're winning. So I think if you have that type of mentality, you won't get too overwhelmed with that.
Boo, for you, when that three fell, how much of it was just a sense of relief that it was done and that you could just kind of get out and play a regular basketball game the rest of the way?
Yeah, I mean, when that three had went in at the time, I mean, I couldn't really celebrate, maybe like I would have if we were up, because we had dug ourselves in that hole. They had came out really hot, but later in the game we were able to, slow them down and, take control of the game. So, later towards the end of the game and at the end of the game is when I really started to just kind of feel all of the emotion and my teammates and coaches. But within the game, man, I was just focused on trying to win. Yeah.
Matt? After you subbed out, you hugged coach, kind of dapped up your teammates and celebrated with friends and family. Is there any moment from that celebration that stood out to you or was especially important?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so special because when I first got here on campus, I mean, you literally could see so many open seats in the stands that it's just unbelievable. And then now just walking off the court to, a whole stadium standing up on their feet, clapping for you and your teammates. I mean, it's really just super special to see. That's what I'm really most proud about of my career here. Just the change that we brought to the program, my teammates and I. And, coach as well, and coach believing in us. Man, this is our 10th win this year, and I think that's the third time in program history that they ever broke 10 wins. And, it's just a huge testament to what Coach Collins and my teammates and I are trying to bring this program to. So, I mean, I can't do anything but thank my teammates and coaches.
Boo, for your family, I mean, Coach Battle, leading scorer at Penn State, now you're at Northwestern. That's two Big Ten programs with your family. What does that mean to you guys?
I mean, it's awesome. We both played in the same league. We had some really, really big time success in the league, and it's something that we'll look back in a couple 10, 20 years and really think like, wow. But right now, I think we're in the moment and we enjoy it and enjoy every day. But I think in 10 to 20 years, we'll really look back and just be like, man, wow, like what we did was really, really special.
Before the game, noticed you waving to a few fans, especially the little ones, interacting with them. And everyone in the crowd's going to have their own way of remembering you, whether it's the tournament runs or the scoring book. How do you want fans to remember you when you walk out of this program?
Yeah, I mean, I just try to do a good job of, showing everybody love. It's bigger than me, the kids especially, man, they're the future, they're the next generation. So, as someone like me, all I think about is just, finding ways to, better myself, but also, shine light to the youth and give them something to look up, especially kids that were in the same position as I was growing up. I kind of just always think about them and how I grew up. So just having a broader aspect to life, like if I'm too concerned about the game or something and there's a fan out there that's coming to see me for the first time and they're waving and I just ignore them, like you said, they're going to think like, oh, man, like it doesn't matter what I do with the basketball. After that point, they're going to be like, man, he's like too big time for me or stuff like that. So, I just want to be known as humble and just like that person, that brought good energy and everybody just really got happy when I was around.
I guess for either of you, obviously the team started with a double-digit deficit, but then it seemed like Boo's record-breaking shot kind of seemed to spark the offense. I guess how was the team able to kind of mitigate through the anticipation of the record and then get it going offensively?
I think for us, it was just we kind of started off, like you said, very slow, but I think Boo's shot, just when it went in, we kind of knew that, like, this is a really special night and, like, we got to pick it up because, like, there's no way that we could, let him break the record, like, with a loss or just, like, him play super well and then, like, us not show up and, help him out. So I think, like, he did a great job kind of, getting us going, especially when we started scoring a little bit in the first half. And then everybody just kind of followed suit. And I think that's what our team's about. We always have guys step up on different nights, and that's why it's so fun to just see, his success. Or if it's like, at IU, two guys get double-doubles that haven't got one like all season. Like that stuff's awesome to us, and that's why I love being a part of this team, this program, because, I mean, we just celebrate all of our little wins. That's what make the big wins like his even more special.
Boo, you came up hobbling late in the second half. Did you feel anything, or do you feel fine moving forward?
Yeah, I felt fine moving forward. I just had a little ankle little twist, but it was just something small. I'll be good. One thing though I do want to say about the record though, and to attest to what Brooks was saying about just our team and our connectedness is like, I mean, you seen Coach came in here with the headband on, and Brooks came in here with the headband on. I mean, honestly, like that might be the coolest thing that happened with the record being broke is that they all when I went in the locker room, they all had the headbands on, and the coaches had the headbands on. So it just really made me feel loved, and that was really special.
Last question, Caleb.
You talked about, like multiple people stepping up, whether it be from Nicholson or Martinelli or even Blake Smith tonight. But for you and Ryan, has there been any internal conversations knowing that you guys are kind of, permanently in that number 2, number 3 scoring positions now that Ty is out?
Yeah, I think so. Ryan's my roommate, so we talk about it all the time. But I think I think Ryan struggled with it a little bit earlier in the season, and I've struggled with it the last 3 games. I just kind of putting a little too much pressure on myself. Me and Ryan today were just like, bro, we just got to go have fun and just hoop. Because when we do that, I think we're a really good team just when everybody's doing that. So, like, today it was funny. We always kind of go back before the game after our shoot-around, kind of talk about what we got to do. And we just looked at each other like, bro, like, let's just have fun tonight, man. We're putting way too much stress on ourselves. Like, let's go have fun and go get another win because, we're building something here and, we're trying to build our resume and do great things in this program. So, I mean, like you said, now that Ty's out, we just got to have fun with that. I mean, it's a blessing to be a second and third option on any college basketball team. So we just got to, take it and run with it. All right, that wraps us up tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Congrats, Boo.
Yeah, congrats. Enjoy.